Welcome to the second of two GeoSHAPE training videos that discuss the History tool. In the previous module, we learned how to use the History tool to view changes done to features within a layer. In this module, you will learn how to set a limit to the history by date range or by an individual feature. You will also learn about the notification tool and see how useful it will be to your map work. We'll start again from the GeoSHAPE Maps page. Find the map we saved before and retrieve it for this exercise. Previously, we saw how you apply the History tool for features that belong to a layer. This time, let's see how we can limit our history list. First, select our point layer from this panel. Then, select the Show History icon. Our History panel appears with listings of all changes done to features in this layer. Now, there is another History tool that we want to use. Up here in the History tab is the History Summary tool. Click this icon and the Select Date Range window appears. You can use this tool to find only changes that fall between two specific dates or times. Enter the dates in the text box or use the Calendar tool. You can also narrow your search down to the minute if necessary. Let's set a date range and see how this works. We'll click on the calendar and set our date from just a few days ago. There. GeoSHAPE will find the history of actions for this layer that fall between these two dates. Down here is the Export to CSV button. Click this button and a spreadsheet is created with the history information. Creating a document describing the history of a layer may be useful in certain situations. The Summarize button finds and places a list of changes for our features in this layer in our History panel. The Cancel button, of course, aborts the date search operation. Let's go ahead and select the Summarize button. There. Now we have listed only the history for features that have had activity between the two dates. GeoSHAPE summarizes all three types of changes in one view. Also, notice that as we zoom out a little, we see the colored dots over some of our features. These dots, of course, coincide with the items in our list. And we can use the Show on Map and the Show Changes tools to review the action. Okay, let's close the Summary panel and the History tab. Now there is another way to look at history. Let's find the line feature on our map, then select it. In the Information window, there is the Show History icon. Let's click on this. The History tab appears on our Layers panel, but this time we are seeing the history for only this one feature. And as we can see, this feature was added on this date and time, and it was modified on this date and time. Let's go ahead and select the Modified tab and the Show Changes icon to see what was done. Here we can see by the two displays the former shape of our line and the updated version. If we were to select the Undo Changes button, our line string would change back to its original shape. Let's cancel this view and look at one more type of history representation done within GeoSHAPE. Close the Info window and the History tab. Now notice that as we worked, a value has appeared in our Notification tab. This means that some activity was done to our layers since our last save. You can set up GeoSHAPE to do an automatic update periodically, or you can invoke the update by clicking on the Refresh Layers icon up here. Let's click the Notification tab, and it tells us that one feature was added. Another person working in our geographic area must have done this to one of our layers. Click on this box and a History tab appears just like the ones we saw earlier. We also have the two icons to view on Map and Show Changes. Let's click on this Show Changes icon to see where and what was done. GeoSHAPE opens the information window showing the location of this feature and what was added in the attribute fields. Perhaps we are in a position of authority and we need to determine if the action done is valid or not. Let's click on this tool, the Show Authors button. GeoSHAPE then shows the login name of the person who made the changes and the date when it was done. Now we can make a judgment that this individual does have authority to make changes to our map and that this update is valid. If we determine otherwise, we might want to use the undo operation. Let's close the window by selecting Cancel. And you could clean out a notification by clicking the X here to the right and click the Notification tab to roll up the information. Okay, let's save our changes, update the abstract if necessary, and save. There. We have now just gone over more history tools for GeoSHAPE. And in this module, we learned how to limit our history search by date, and we learned how to find the history for just a single feature. We also learned about the notification tool and how it also records history. This tool is very useful for tracking changes when more than one person is working in our map area. We hope that you found this information useful. We know that you will use the history capability often and get great value from it.